to online chemistry. I just want to give you a really brief overview of how the course is set up. And no matter what class you're taking, they're all set up the same way. So if it's Chem 1 or Chem 2, spring, summer, fall, whatever you have, the details in the course might change, but the general setup is going to be the same. So the first tab here is the announcements, and I'll post weekly, sometimes more, depending on how much I have to say. But the weekly announcement will look like this. You'll have kind of a checklist of things that need to be done, when they're due, a little message from me, the link to our optional Zoom meeting, which may be able to find a few different ways depending on the semester. Some more information, what do we need for lab, what videos should we be watching. And so here I'm posting links to the YouTube videos. These are all of our lecture videos. I'm going to show you multiple ways to find those as well. Most of the things in the course, you can find them in a few different ways. But everything, well, these are also going to be in our weekly announcements or weekly overviews. Some lab information here, again with the due dates, and then that's your checklist. I'll also post things like internships and research experiences, anything that I think that you might find interesting or might need later on in the future. The next tab is our grades tab, so I'll try to post all of your grades as quickly as possible. I try to grade everything often so you get the feedback right away. And if you ever have any questions on your grades, please feel free to email me. I'm happy to answer those. The next tab is our syllabus and schedule. Again, this will be specific for whatever class you have, and I'll make a separate video on the syllabus and the schedule. That's what the syllabus kind of looks like. And the schedule will just be all the due dates again, what's due, what video should you be watching, what labs are you working on that week, what problem set or exam do you have due. So just separated by weeks, that's what the schedule looks like. It'll be in that tab always. I also have some Zoom recordings. So we do a lot of optional Zoom sessions, and then I record those as long as everyone's okay with that. And then I'll post those for you. So that just shows up as a separate document. If you open those, oh, this one's already open. You can see, there we go. We have a big archive of all these different Zoom recordings. So if you have any questions on homework problems and you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this, it's probably done for you or something similar is done for you here. Just let me know what you're looking for and I can help you find it. You feel free to browse this catalog as well. All right, so that's our Zoom recordings. Zoom meeting links, if I have a meeting set up, it'll appear here. In the summer, I usually use my personal meeting room, and I'll just set that time and send that out to you. If it's during the fall and spring, you'll see some cloud recordings here. If not, if it's just on my personal meeting, then it'll show up in that Zoom recording tab over here, that Zoom recording link. So I'll just add those Zooms every week. Modules, so this is like the main part of the course, the modules. So for like week 1, when you open that, you'll find a weekly overview, some like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Those are our lecture notes. I'll open those for you. We've got some video links, tabs with video links again. Those are the same links that are going to be posted on the weekly overview and in the announcement. Lab safety tab, we have whatever labs we have, we'll have folders for those, and then a problem set. So let's go over all these a little bit more in depth. Weekly overview, this is the announcement. It's the same as the announcement. Again, I will post additional announcements, but I will send this out to you. I will email it to you, so if you have your RCSJ email, you'll get it there. That's the default email for Blackboard. I think there's a way to change that. We can try to find that together. Chapter 1, so this is an example of what the the lecture notes look like, and these are going to look just like what's in the video. So they're going to follow along the video. You can see that they're kind of like skeleton notes. There's lots of blank spaces for you to write things down. As I'm going through them in the video, we'll go through lots of sample exercises. And in the video, I'll also kind of prompt you to like, all right, now stop, you work on this one on your own. And then when you're done, you resume the video and you check your work. So if you do that, it takes a little longer to get through all the videos. So if you might open the video and be like, oh good, this one's only 10 minutes. But you might find that it takes you 20 minutes to get through it because you're pausing, working through on your own, and then resuming the video. So that's how we would do it in class. We would kind of work through problems together if we were in person. And so I was trying to mimic that as well. So I'll prompt you to stop kind of in the videos and work through some problems on your own. So you can see there's a lot of sample exercises in this chapter. Also, if you're looking for more like additional problems, at the end of each one of your lecture notes, there'll be lots of other problems to work through. These are not graded. This is not the graded homework set. If your course has graded homework, that's going to be a separate assignment. These are just for you to work on as additional samples of types of problems that would ask in class. These also at the end of the chapter, they do come with the answers, so you feel free to look up those answers so you'll know if you did them right. So normally what I'll tell students to do is you download this document, open it up, print it out, write all over it, and then and watch while you're watching the videos, and then try some of these sample homework problems that are in this that you have the answers to, and then you can go back and do the actual homework assignment, the one that is graded if you have graded homework. Not every class has graded homework. Going back over to our modules tab, we had our chapter notes. These are our next day of the lecture videos. Again, these are the same links that are posted in the announcement and the weekly overview. I have them embedded in Blackboard. For some courses they're embedded. I'm working on that. Chapter 2, Chapter 3. This is for summer course, though we move pretty quickly. If you're in the fall or the spring, you won't have quite as much in a single folder, in a single week. We have lab safety, so our first quiz is a lab safety quiz. That's the entire lab safety assignment. You don't have a lab report for lab safety, it's just going to be that quiz. You're going to watch this video, answer the questions in the quiz, and then the lab safety agreement, you can read that out. You'll also upload that into the lab safety quiz. Just another lab, a more typical lab. Sorry, let's do this first one. You'll have a procedure. Sometimes I'll post the PDF and the Word doc just in case you have trouble downloading a Word doc. If you're using a Mac, the PDFs will open, but the Word docs sometimes come out a little funny. We'll have a pre-lab. Pre-labs are set up like quizzes. They're not timed, so don't worry about time. Sometimes they're multiple choice, sometimes they're free response. They are always related to the lab itself. So this one has 4 questions. You can save it and come back to it. You don't have to do it all in one shot. You can have that open forever. It doesn't matter. The lab report, the data sheet is going to be set up like an assignment. So this is what an assignment looks like. You're going to, so click on this little link here and that'll pull up the actual document. And this is what you're going to fill out while you're doing the lab. So this one, here we go, doesn't require any intro or abstract or anything like that. For this first one, it's just the data sheet. If you need other parts to it, it'll be in this template. It'll be in like the data sheet template. So for this lab, and this is the data sheet for that lab. Once you fill that out, then you're going to submit it. You're going to upload those files in order to submit it. So then you click upload file, browse local files, upload it, or however you want to upload it, that's fine. And this is how we'll do our problem sets as well. If you have graded problem sets, exams will also be the same type of situation where you'll download that file, write all over it, take a picture. You don't have to type everything. You can most definitely take pictures and upload the pictures. You should be able to upload multiple files. If you have an iPhone, you can, there's a lot of ways to do this, but an iPhone, if you go to your notes tab and then you can click on the camera, it will bring up a scanned document. You'll be able to scan everything, all multiple pages into one file as a PDF, and that's fantastic. It's so much easier for me to grade things when it's in one file. I will accept it multiple ways. I prefer it so that it's vertical instead of hurts my neck when it goes the other way. It's hard to manipulate things in Blackboard, but if you have any questions on that file submission, please just let me know, or how to do it or whatever. But anytime you have questions, please feel free to email me. What else do we have? A lecture, a data analysis video. So all the labs are going to have another video for you to kind of watch. Sometimes it's walking through the procedures of how to do the lab. Most of the time it's just the data analysis of that. And if you have suggestions on other videos that you need, you can always reach out to me and I will make them for you. So this one's embedded and it's just going to walk you through sample data. It's not the same data that you're going to get in the lab all the time. Usually it's something different, so it'll be something else for you to do. Another example of those calculations. Back over to the modules, I think we covered almost everything in our modules tab. There we go, right, so we had the chapter, we had our lab stuff, and then we have our problem set. So the problem set, again, set up like an assignment. You're going to click on that, open up the problem set. You should show your work. So download this, print it out, write all over it. If you don't have a printer, just do it on a separate piece of paper. That's fine. But you don't have to type it all out. If you like to type it out, great. That's great. You want to use the equation thing and make it all pretty, that's fine. As long as I get all that I wanted, I do want to see your work because then I can give you some feedback on what you did wrong so you don't make the same mistakes. So that's pretty much everything in these modules. I also have all of those documents again in a separate. If you're just looking for one lab and you want to get to it quickly and you're like, I can't remember what lab or what module it's in, just go in the lab tab. They're cross-linked over here. It should be the same things I just showed you before. You got your procedure, your pre-lab data sheet, everything that you need will also be in that lab tab. Same with the lecture. Lecture, you'll have a link to all the videos, right? This is just like kind of really low-tech way of doing that. And then I have a video tab where, again, you'll find the same links. They'll be embedded here. And then also have the lecture notes. So those are the Word documents of the lecture notes. So if you're looking for those in a quick way. Problem sets, same deal. Problem sets will be over here. They're also embedded in each one of the modules. Exams will be here. They'll also be embedded in all the modules, but if you're just looking for one exam quickly, they'll be here. And then study guides. So study guides, this tab, I will try to embed these into whenever we have an exam, but there are some practice exams here. I'll also post some Zoom recordings of me going through the practice exams, so the keys will be here as well. So feel free to look those over, work through them. The first tab is going to be like the blank document, and then the next one will have all the answers in it. So if you have any questions on any of this, please let me know. I'm always happy to